Ah, mooting. But you may ask me, what are these? Well, it is definitely not about saying,
Objection!
no, seriously, you do not want to be saying that at all. Mooting is a mock trial conducted with the plaintiff prosecution against the defendant, respondent, or defense at the appeal stage. Some call it an argument or even a conversation, but I beg to differ. You are not exchanging viewpoints with the judges. You are convincing them to buy or believe your story. You are explaining the features of your product and differentiating from the other party's product. In other words, you are selling your point of view, and you must convince the judges that your point of view is the one that should be followed and not that of the other party. So the next question would be, what skills or knowledge is required to know? Procedural rules are easily learned because they are simple and straightforward. I feel that there should be a distinction between prerequisite skills and skills that are an outcome. Many people make the mistake of trying to practice or apply a skill that they do not yet have. This can cause a lot of frustration, and frankly, it can make people feel really stupid. Skills should first be developed and not applied when they do not yet exist. It would be like trying to make apple pie when you don't even have an apple tree. At least in my opinion, the major skills needed in mooting are fivefold. Analysis and research is a never-ending cycle, well, because you never know enough. The first step of this cycle, sourcing, is about knowing where to look for the material you require. Knowing how to use keywords in searches and searching under related topics can be of great help. In searching for resources, you will find a lot of unrelated material. This is very normal. At times you will find fantastic resources which you will have to throw aside. When it comes to relating material, the general rule is that quality comes before quantity. Having one information-rich case is better than having 10 unrelated ones. This helps in the extraction stage, fishing out concepts and principles that you may need to bring up. Your hypothesis should then be tested for holes, and, if unsatisfying, the cycle should be repeated all over again. Even as language is not a perfect tool for communication, a good command of it is required to efficiently understand and communicate material. Knowing court etiquette and obeying the rules of court are necessary formalities. It should then also be stated that these procedural rules are not to impress, but as a sign of respect. Applying this doctrine gives mooting a more realistic feel and gives exposure to aspiring lawyers. Time management is merely discipline despite indolence. A common problem when starting off with work is that people never know when to end. This is especially true in any type of writing. We not only have to choose our battles, but how far we want to take them. Sometimes we just have to learn to let go and move on to something else. Now, belief in your own position is perhaps the most important skill that a mooter must have. You might say,
Objection!
this seems like a pretty simple thing. Allow an explanation. It requires one to have mental skill in being both flexible yet firm. It can be especially easy to be swayed by the view of others when yours is a minority view. In an actual court case, if you do not believe in your own position, you will probably fail to persuade the judges. To illustrate, have you ever heard of missionaries converting people to a religion other than their own? No. I place more magnitude on this skill because it does not come with mere practice or experience. It requires a strong sense of self-identity which conventional schooling often fails to foster. These 5 abilities are, to me, the building blocks to successful mooting. Moving forward, some people may wonder why they should take mooting besides the fact that some places make it compulsory. To me, there are 4 major advantageous outcomes to mooting. Firstly, it's a useful avenue for people to develop their argumentative or persuasive skills. Mooters can be challenged to develop strong opinions for themselves, especially when the odds are stacked against them. Learning effective and efficient methods of referring to authorities can also help hone research skills. The second skill that mooters can pick up is patience and tolerance towards others. As lowly as it may sound, people aspiring to work in the judicial field may find benefits in working in customer service. Customer service jobs are sometimes easy to get than others. It can be a good way to expose oneself to different kinds of people and also gain general knowledge in different industries. As the law deals with many different aspects of life, It can be useful to a lawyer to know a little bit about everything. When one is inexperienced, one may find trouble in answering difficult questions posed by judges. Although questions in mooting are more examinatory in nature, in real proceedings, judges would only ask questions to help them understand the case better. Depending on how specific the facts must be, it may feel like that when you make a statement,
Hold it!
and then,
Hold it!
and then,
Hold it!
this may be harder to deal with when it comes from the other litigating party instead of judges. Even as you know that you are merely representing your clients, it is sometimes hard to separate emotion from the current situation. This may cause tension to boil. This is probably because the other party is not going to only tell you to
Hold it!
but also to
Take that!
adding to that, even you are going to be telling the other party to
Hold it!
and
Take that!
getting the point, aren't we? Internal conflicts should not be discounted either. Getting some work experience in the customer service line can also develop communication skills, conciliation skills, and the ability to compromise. Because every individual team member is different, on certain issues, you will sometimes feel like screaming,
Objection!
to which your team members will also reply with an
Objection!
The important thing is to not let things get out of hand and end up like
Objection! Objection! Objection!
mooting also spurs impromptu thinking skills. This challenges people to think on their feet and apply knowledge to a circumstances situation before them. If you try to prepare for every possibility, there are only so many scenarios you can cover. Therefore, it's not only important to have a mind that knows, but one that also thinks. Quick thinking is not only useful in the legal area, but also in all other aspects of life. This, paired with the previous skill, can really help develop people as individuals. Most obviously, but not most insignificantly, mooting is a simulation of litigation and will give practical experience for those seeking a litigating career. It can also serve as a demo for those who are unsure of their interest in litigation. I am sure that mooters will find that there are many other benefits to mooting other than the four I have mentioned here. I think it could be said that mooting can also be beneficial to people who are interested in business, as well as other career paths. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to lawyer up.